What makes a place feel like home? Safety, comfort, or pure human determination to exist against the odds? Around the world, people have chosen to build not where it's easy, but where survival itself becomes a daily achievement. Imagine a tiny wooden cabin perched alone on a rock in the middle of Serbia's Drina River, constantly battered by powerful currents, or a Spanish town called Setenil de las Bodegas, where entire homes are carved directly into massive cliffs, blending human life with raw geology. And then travel to Vietnam, where the legendary one-pillar pagoda stands delicately balanced on a single stone column, almost defying gravity and time itself. Why do people choose to live or build in places that seem nearly impossible? What engineering secrets keep these structures from collapsing? How do residents adapt mentally and physically to such extreme conditions? In this video, we'll uncover the world's most unimaginable homes, test the limits of human resilience, and ask one powerful question: could you ever live here? Setenil de las Bodegas looks like a fantasy made real, a Spanish village literally carved into the belly of a massive basalt rock formation. For nearly 8 centuries, residents have built their whitewashed homes inside and under natural cliff overhangs formed by the erosion of the Rio Trejo. Instead of constructing roofs, they let the mountains serve as one, keeping homes naturally cool in scorching summers and warm during winter. Once a Moorish defensive fortress, its labyrinth of cave-like streets clings to the gorge in stunning defiance of gravity. Today, it stands as a breathtaking fusion of geology and human resilience, where people don't just live near the rock, they live within it. Hutawan, China, the ghost village, devoured by nature. Hidden on Shengshan Island off China's eastern coast lies Hutawan, a once thriving fishing village now reclaimed by the wild. Built along steep, winding cliffs overlooking the East China Sea, this remote settlement flourished in the late 20th century before isolation and harsh geography drove villagers away. Abandoned for decades, its stone houses have since been swallowed by climbing ivy and thick green moss, turning the village into a surreal fusion of human architecture and natural resurrection. Today, Hutuwan stands as a hauntingly beautiful reminder of how quickly nature can erase civilization, where homes still stand, but life has long drifted back to the sea. Vadzia. Deep within the rugged cliffs of southern Georgia lies Vadzia, a breathtaking cave monastery built in the 12th century under Queen Tamar's reign. Carved into a sheer rock face stretching nearly half a mile, this underground city once held thousands of monks and featured over a dozen levels of interconnected tunnels, chapels, and hidden escape routes. Designed as both a spiritual sanctuary and a fortress against invaders, Vadzia blends geology and architecture in a stunning display of human resilience. Even today, its silent chambers echo with the mystery of a civilization that once lived entirely inside the mountain. Rising delicately above a lotus pond in Hanoi, the one-pillar pagoda looks almost impossible, an entire temple balanced on a single wooden pillar barely wider than a tree trunk. Built in the 11th century by Emperor Li Taitung after a dream of a lotus throne, this pagoda symbolizes purity emerging from muddy waters. Its structure, appearing to float like a blooming lotus, reflects ancient Vietnamese engineering that defies balance and gravity. Geographically, it sits in the heart of the Red River Delta, an area known for its spiritual energy and historic dynasties. The exterior features traditional curved roof edges resembling a phoenix in mid-flight, while the interior holds a serene altar dedicated to the Buddhist goddess of mercy. Despite being destroyed during wartime, it was meticulously reconstructed to preserve its sacred geometry. What makes it extreme is not just its physical instability, but its role as a spiritual refuge standing on one pillar for nearly 1,000 years, an architectural whisper of faith, resilience, and equilibrium against time. Mount Fanjing. Mount Fanjing, soaring over 7,000 feet above sea level in China's Wuling Mountains, is a geological wonder, born from millions of years of tectonic uplift. Here, nature carved a towering rock pillar that appears almost too thin to hold life. Yet atop this narrow summit stand two ancient temples, perched as if defying gravity. Reached only by climbing thousands of steep stone steps, the golden summit is split by a deep crack, bridged by a single pathway. With clouds swirling like oceans below, this sacred site feels less like Earth and more like a gateway between worlds. In the heart of Serbia, on the fast-flowing Drina River, stands a tiny wooden house, impossibly perched on a lone rock. Built in the early 1960s by local swimmers seeking a resting spot, this home defies both geography and logic. Each year, it endures powerful currents and seasonal floods that would demolish ordinary structures. Yet it remains, balanced delicately above emerald waters, framed by misty mountains. With no road, no neighbors, and nature as its only companion, it stands as one of the world's most isolated and resilient river homes. Yanjin. Tucked deep within China's Yunnan province, Yanjin is often called the narrowest city on Earth. It stretches like a vertical ribbon along the banks of the raging Yangtze River, squeezed between towering mountain walls that rise thousands of feet like guardians of stone. With barely enough land for a single road and rows of tightly stacked buildings, homes here seem glued to cliffs, defying gravity and reason. The city's history is shaped by survival, built over centuries in this canyon to follow ancient trade routes. During heavy rains, the river swells dangerously, brushing against ground floors and testing the resilience of its residents. Yet despite the peril, Yanjin is a breathtaking sight. Slender bridges span turbulent waters, multi-story homes cling to rock faces, and fog drifts through the gorge like a living spirit. It's not just a place to live, it's a daily battle against nature in one of the most extreme urban environments on Earth. Perched on the jagged peak of Signalkuppe, Capanna Margherita is the highest hut in Europe, soaring nearly 15,000 feet above sea level. Built in the late 19th century, this wooden refuge clings to the icy Alps like a miracle of human endurance. Oxygen is scarce, winds roar with brutal force, and temperatures can plummet below freezing even in summer. Yet inside, scientists study high-altitude physiology while climbers rest in awe. This extreme home is not just a shelter, it's a triumph of engineering, history, and survival against the sky itself. Lindisfarne Castle. Perched atop a lone volcanic hill overlooking the restless North Sea, Lindisfarne Castle stands like a stone guardian against time and tide. Built in the 16th century on Holy Island, this fortress home is cut off from the mainland twice a day as the ocean rises to swallow the only access road. Its foundations were carved directly into igneous rock formed by ancient geological upheavals, allowing it to withstand hurricane-force winds and salt-laden storms. Once a Tudor stronghold, the castle was later transformed into a surreal private residence in the early 20th century by architect Edwin Lutyens, blending medieval defense with refined elegance. Inside, curved staircases cling to rugged walls, while narrow windows offer breathtaking views of tidal flats that shimmer like liquid silver. Living here means surrendering to nature's schedule. When the sea closes in, the world outside disappears, and the castle becomes an isolated kingdom in the mist. Suspended in time and stripped of human habitation, the Chernobyl exclusion zone is one of the most extreme homes ever built and abandoned by mankind. After the catastrophic reactor meltdown in April of 1986 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, a zone nearly 1,000 square miles in size was evacuated and sealed. Apartment blocks in the town of Pripyat now stand empty, their Soviet-era concrete shells swallowed by nature, while radiation-scarred classrooms and Ferris wheels silently mark the moment people fled. Here, architecture and infrastructure designed for thriving life became monuments to disaster. Forests reclaim asphalt roads, wild animals roam freely where children once played, and the entire region has become a living laboratory of ecology and engineering under extreme conditions. Kolmanskop. Buried in the shifting sands of Namibia's Namib Desert lies Kolmanskop, a once thriving diamond town now swallowed by dunes. Built in the early 20th century by German settlers, this remote settlement stood in one of Earth's driest regions, carved into barren terrain, where scorching winds and desert silence dominate. Lavish homes featured imported marble, grand ballrooms, and even one of the first X-ray stations in Africa, an extreme luxury in a harsh wasteland. But when diamond fever faded, residents vanished, leaving gravity-defying staircases and sunken rooms slowly filled, inch by inch, with golden sand. Today, Kolmanskop stands as an eerie fusion of human ambition and desert reclamation, an abandoned architectural mirage frozen in time. Spiti Valley. Hidden deep within the high-altitude desert of northern India, Spiti Valley sits over 12,000 feet above sea level, where oxygen thins and temperatures plunge below freezing for most of the year. Carved by ancient tectonic shifts and glacial erosion, its rugged cliffs cradle monasteries that seem almost supernaturally glued to vertical rock faces. The 1,000-year-old Key Monastery, stacked like a giant Lego fortress, stands as both a spiritual sanctuary and a feat of survival engineering. Homes here are built from mud, stone, and yak dung, insulated to endure brutal Himalayan winds. With roads often cut off for months, residents live on the edge of isolation, sustained by ancient wisdom and breathtaking extremes. Spiti is less a valley and more a living testament to human endurance in impossible terrain. Hidden in the volcanic slopes of northwestern Iran lies Kandovan, a village carved directly into ancient lava formations believed to be over thousands of years old. These cone-shaped dwellings, some towering like rocky beehives, were sculpted by eruptions from Mount Sahand before being hollowed out by humans as early as the 13th century. The natural volcanic tuff acts as a powerful insulator, keeping interiors warm during brutal sub-zero winters and cool in scorching summer heat. Many homes span multiple levels with carved staircases, windows, and even animal shelters embedded in stone. Unlike abandoned rock cities, Kandovan is still alive, with families continuing to inhabit these geological marvels. It's not just a village, it's a fusion of human resilience and raw volcanic power, where people literally live inside the Earth's ancient breath. Matmata underground homes. Deep in southern Tunisia, the village of Matmata hides its homes beneath the earth. These troglodyte dwellings, believed to date back several centuries, are carved into soft sandstone to escape the desert's brutal heat. Each home begins with a circular pit, dug up to 2 or 3 stories deep, with rooms tunneled into the surrounding walls like a subterranean hive. These underground chambers naturally regulate temperature, staying cool during scorching days and warm at night. Still inhabited today, and famously featured in a certain galactic movie, Matmata proves that survival can be engineered beneath the sand. Katski Pillar. Rising like a stone needle from the Georgian countryside, the Katski Pillar is a natural limestone monolith standing roughly 130 feet above the ground. Perched atop this isolated pillar is a tiny hermitage, believed to date back to the medieval era. Reached only by a near-vertical ladder, it was once home to monks seeking spiritual isolation closer to heaven. The structure defies logic, an architectural miracle clinging to a rock that seems carved by the gods themselves. A home built not just on stone, but on faith. Hidden beneath the Anatolian plains of Turkey lies Derinkuyu, an underground city so vast it plunges nearly 280 feet into the earth. Carved entirely by hand from soft volcanic rock, this subterranean labyrinth once sheltered thousands of people. Historians believe it dates back to ancient civilizations, such as the Phrygians, later expanded during Byzantine times as a refuge from invaders. Derinkuyu features ventilation shafts, stables, wine cellars, churches, and massive stone doors that could seal each level from threats. Its architecture is a marvel of ancient engineering, designed to sustain life underground for months. In this silent darkness, humanity turned fear into innovation, creating one of the most extreme homes on Earth, an entire city hidden in the rock. Longyearbyen. Longyearbyen, perched deep within the Arctic Circle, on Norway's Svalbard archipelago, is one of the northernmost inhabited towns on Earth. Built on frozen permafrost, homes are elevated on stilts to prevent melting the ground beneath. For nearly 4 months each year, the sun never rises, while summer brings endless daylight. Once a coal mining outpost, it now hosts the Global Seed Vault, a futuristic bunker safeguarding humanity's crops. In this icy frontier, survival is architecture, and every house is a testament to human resilience. Montserrat, rising like a jagged spine above Catalonia, is a mountain where geology and faith collide. Its bizarre rock formations, sculpted by millions of years of wind and erosion, tower like ancient stone giants. Clinging to these cliffs is the Benedictine monastery of Santa Maria de Montserrat, accessible by a winding road or a daring cable car. Perched high above the clouds, this sanctuary houses the Black Madonna, drawing pilgrims for nearly 1,000 years. Here, homes of faith defy gravity and time. Castellfollit de la Roca. Castellfollit de la Roca clings dramatically to the edge of a basalt cliff formed by ancient lava flows over millions of years. Stretching barely 300 feet long and resting atop a crumbling volcanic ridge, this medieval village seems to defy gravity. Narrow stone houses line the precipice, overlooking a dizzying drop between the Fluvia and Torrenelle rivers. With origins tracing back nearly 1,000 years, this cliffside settlement stands as one of Spain's most daring architectural feats. Gibraltar. Rising dramatically from the arid plains of northern Ethiopia, the Gibraltar Mountains form a jagged sandstone range that conceals some of the world's most mysterious feats of sacred architecture. Over 30 ancient churches are carved directly into the sheer rock faces, some tucked away at altitudes exceeding 2,500 meters, about 8,200 feet, above sea level. These structures, dating back as far as the 5th century, were meticulously chiseled by hand, without cranes, drills, or modern tools. What puzzles engineers today is not just how these chapels were built into vertical cliffs, but how their interiors reveal soaring vaulted ceilings, symmetrical columns, and carefully designed acoustics. Even more bewildering, many of these churches can only be reached by climbing narrow ledges or vertical stone walls with no support rails. The geology of the region, a hard, reddish sandstone, was ideal for carving, but unforgiving to mistakes. Yet inside, intricate arches, vaulted ceilings, and fresco-covered walls whisper of lost knowledge and impossible precision. These isolated sanctuaries remain one of humanity's most breathtaking and unexplained architectural marvels. Sumela Monastery. Sumela Monastery clings to a sheer cliff face in Turkey's Pontic Mountains, hovering nearly 4,000 feet above sea level. Built in the 4th century, this remote sanctuary appears carved straight from the rock, blending architecture with nature in a breathtaking illusion of suspension. Hidden among dense forests and misty peaks, its frescoed chambers and cliff-hugging corridors make Sumela one of the world's most surreal spiritual retreats. The Uros people live atop floating islands on Peru's Lake Titicaca, one of the world's highest navigable lakes, rising over 12,000 feet above sea level. These islands are crafted entirely from layers of totora reeds, which must be constantly replenished as they rot beneath the surface. Homes, boats, and walkways are all woven by hand, creating a surreal, living architecture that drifts peacefully across the shimmering Andean waters. Mongolian steppe. Stretching across thousands of miles, the Mongolian steppe is one of Earth's last great untouched wildernesses, where endless grasslands roll beneath a sky so vast it feels otherworldly. Nomadic families live in circular felt yurts called gyrs, engineered to withstand brutal winters that plunge below -40 degrees. With no permanent foundations, these movable homes mirror the fluid, ever-changing rhythm of the land, blending survival, architecture, and ancient tradition into a breathtaking lifestyle on the edge of civilization. Tonle Sap in Cambodia is not just a lake, it's a breathing ecosystem where entire villages float and migrate with the rhythm of water. Each year, monsoon rains reverse the flow of the Mekong River, causing the lake to expand more than 5 times its dry season size. Homes are built on towering stilts or designed as floating wooden structures anchored by ropes and barrels. Residents travel by boat, as their front doors open directly onto the shifting waters. This aquatic community thrives on fishing, adapting to a landscape that constantly transforms, blending architecture, survival, and nature in one of Earth's most fluid environments. Luoxiagu. Luoxiagu, hidden in China's Yunnan province, looks like a painting carved into the earth. Its rainbow-like terraced fields shift colors with each season. Rusty red soil, rich in iron and aluminum, contrasts against emerald crops and golden sunlight. Scattered village homes cling to the hillsides, shaped to endure steep terrain and thin mountain air. Here, farming is not just survival, it's an art form sculpted over centuries on the edge of gravity. Nepal van Java. Nepal van Java, perched on the slopes of Mount Sumbing in Indonesia, looks like a village floating among the clouds. Houses are painted in bright pastel tones, stacked tightly on steep hillsides that angle like a staircase to the sky. At altitudes reaching nearly 7,000 feet above sea level, residents farm on terraced fields carved by hand over generations. Mist drifts through narrow paths each morning, blurring the line between earth and heaven. This is not just a village, it's a high-altitude masterpiece, defying gravity and isolation. High in Japan's remote Gifu prefecture lies Shirakawa-go, a village seemingly frozen in time and defying nature itself. Nestled in a valley where snowfall can reach the height of a full-grown person, locals built gasho-zukuri houses, steep, thatched roofs, angled like praying hands to survive the crushing winter weight. These wooden homes, some centuries old, were crafted without nails, relying on precise joinery and community teamwork. Surrounded by mountains and isolated for generations, villagers developed a unique lifestyle of resilience and harmony. Today, Shirakawa-go stands as a living masterpiece of human adaptation against harsh geography. Escher Guest House. Clinging to the sheer face of a Swiss cliff like a secret carved by time, the Escher Guest House stands as one of the world's most impossible homes. Perched more than 4,000 feet above sea level in the Alpstein Massif, this wooden lodge is wedged directly beneath a towering rock wall, shielded by nature's own roof. Built in the 19th century as a resting place for shepherds and travelers, it can only be reached by hiking steep mountain trails or taking a cable car followed by a rugged walk. With no modern foundation, the structure relies on the mountain itself for support. Fog drifts past its windows like whispered legends, while cliffs drop dramatically below. The Escher isn't just a guest house, it's a breathtaking fusion of human perseverance and wild alpine geography. Rising from the Yemeni desert like a sand-colored fortress of dreams, Shibam is known as the Manhattan of the desert. Dating back to the 16th century, this UNESCO city features mud brick skyscrapers soaring up to 11 stories high, some over 100 feet tall. Built on elevated terrain to survive flash floods, its vertical architecture was an early solution to limited land and tribal defense. Monemvasia. Hidden behind a towering rock off Greece's Peloponnese coast, Monemvasia is a medieval fortress town carved directly into a cliff face. Connected to the mainland by a single stone causeway, its name means only entrance. Founded in the 6th century as a Byzantine stronghold, its homes cling to steep terrain overlooking the Aegean Sea. Built from local stone, these centuries-old dwellings were engineered to withstand both pirate raids and fierce coastal winds. In the middle of Peru's vast coastal desert lies Huacachina, a tiny oasis village that seems almost mythical. Surrounded by some of the tallest sand dunes in South America, towering like golden walls reaching nearly 1,000 feet. This settlement formed around a natural lagoon believed by locals to possess healing powers. Built in the early 20th century, the village's homes, hotels, and cafes cling to the edge of the water, sustained by underground aquifers hidden deep beneath the dunes. The geography here is extreme. Scorching daytime heat, chilling desert nights, and shifting sands that constantly threaten to reclaim the town. Yet Huacachina thrives, a surreal haven where human architecture dares to exist amid one of Earth's most inhospitable terrains, a real-life mirage turned permanent home. Paro Taktsang. Clinging to a sheer cliff, like a secret whispered to the sky, Paro Taktsang, also known as the Tiger's Nest Monastery, sits dramatically on a rock face nearly 10,000 feet above sea level in Bhutan's Paro Valley. Built in the 17th century, this sacred site is believed to be where Guru Padmasambhava meditated after, according to legend, flying to the location on the back of a tiger. The structure is anchored directly into the rugged granite, with whitewashed walls and golden roofs defying gravity. Accessible only by a steep mountain trail, the monastery endures extreme winds, avalanches, and isolation. Yet, its precise engineering and spiritual legacy have allowed it to survive for centuries as one of the world's most impossible sanctuaries. Hidden deep in Argentina's Andes like a village lost in time, Iruya clings to rugged mountain slopes over 8,000 feet above sea level. Reaching it requires navigating narrow, winding dirt roads carved into dramatic canyons shaped by ancient tectonic forces. Built during the 18th century, its pastel houses made of adobe and stone seem to emerge naturally from the mountainside. The town rests on a terraced landscape designed to resist erosion and flash floods caused by sudden high-altitude storms. Spanish colonial architecture blends with indigenous Andean traditions, creating a surreal fusion of cultures suspended above clouds. With no airport or railway, Iruya survives through sheer isolation, an extreme home where geography, faith, and resilience meet. Huayribo. Perched nearly 4,000 feet above sea level in the misty highlands of Flores, Indonesia, Huayribo is a remote village, accessible only by a strenuous 3-hour jungle trek. Its iconic Mbaru Niang homes, 7-tiered cone-shaped structures crafted from bamboo and palm leaves without a single nail, stand as living artifacts of Manggarai culture. In this skybound sanctuary, tradition thrives in harmony with the clouds. Balanced atop a crumbling volcanic plateau in central Italy, Civita di Bagnoregio is known as the Dying City. Accessible only by a narrow pedestrian bridge Suspended above deep ravines, this ancient village, founded over 2,000 years ago by the Etruscans, constantly battles erosion. Its stone homes cling to the fragile cliffside, defying time as one of the planet's most precariously perched communities.